Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Steins 0. In the last episode, Daru decided to call a private contact that he'd been in touch with regarding his part-time job, as it were, related to his super hacking. And lo and behold, it was the last person that Rintaro had ever expected to see again. The infamous Moeka, who he last saw at the ATF seminar with Maho, and didn't see her again for a while. But Moeka has agreed to investigate the whereabouts of the missing Kagari, much to Suzuha's relief, and Rintaro, since Daru will be the one covering the costs, as always. Although Moeka didn't promise anything, but we weren't really expecting much anyway. Meanwhile, Maho is once again frustrated with Amadeus Kurisu and Alexis Leskinen, as always. But she's more interested in getting Rintaro to try and unlock the password to Kurisu's laptop. It seems that she's picked up on more to him than meets the eye. You can call it a woman's intuition. I just call it general intuition myself. She was thinking about that when she changed trains and got off at Akihabara station, on her way from Wako City. It seems that, Maho is completely taken aback by all the hustle and bustle here in Akihabara. So this is actually the station where people go to and come from. I thought it was the DVD and the bookstores myself, but it does say Akihabara station at the top there, and there are signs to some trains. But on the opposite side of this particular street is the radio building, where the time machine is, and where the final resting place of Kurisu Makase on the 28th of July, 6 months ago. She felt like someone was watching her and spun around. It was a weekday, but the station was crowded. She looked around at all the people, but none of them seemed to be paying her much attention. Like finding a needle in a haystack. I would normally trust those moments of intuition myself, or at the very least keep them at the forefront of my mind. She whispered to no one in particular as she started to walk again. Amadeus Kurisu had told her the location of the future gadget laboratory. Something about hanging the directions were rather vague, if memory serves. Hanging a left at the tiny door, and something about the March Hare's haberdashery or something like that. Yeah, something bizarre like that, anyway. And also something to do with the Red Queen's Earthsat's botanical as well, if Horin Kiyoma is to be believed. She wasn't that familiar with the layout of Akihabara, but if she needed to, she could ask her for directions. At least she won't couch them in vague Alice in Wonderland metaphors. Unlike a certain former insane mad scientist. But what if she came in unannounced and Okabe wasn't there? There is that possibility. That bothered her a little, but she decided she could just leave if that happened. Nothing stopping you from doing that. Her eyes lingered on the junk parts lined up in the bins at the shops as she walked when... that feeling again. That sense of being watched. She felt someone looking at her again, but when she turned around she still didn't see anyone. Something's still out of place. She started walking again, then went around a corner into an alley. Can't really chalk it up to imagination any longer. Someone is following us. And then she was sure of it. Footsteps. She could hear them behind her. Of course, that was nothing special. She would often be out walking at night and hear footsteps behind her. She sped up her pace, only to see an irritated man walk past a moment later. But this time, for some reason, she was sure that wasn't the case. She decided to try walking faster and found the footsteps went faster too. And she went slower, so did they. Someone's deliberately following Maho. Wonder who it could be. Whenever she saw a scene like this in a movie, she'd imagine she just kicked the guy in the face. Now that was actually happening, she was too scared to turn around. She fumbled for the phone in her pocket. The idea of calling the police never occurred to her. The only thing she thought of was the name of the man she was trying to meet. She picked it out of her call history and pressed the button with trembling fingers. Although for some reason I think that Rintaro might have his smartphone turned off. Footsteps overlapped with the sound of the rain. Looks like Rintaro's busy, it seems. Probably at Tokyo Denki. The footsteps were almost on top of her. Just when she couldn't take it anymore and was about to start running.
Moshi.
Hail and well met, Rintaro. She heard a voice coming from the other side of the phone. Bit unexpected, I know, but bear with us. Well, we're not... Well, that's a lie, obviously. But she didn't get to say another word. By the time she'd realized someone had grabbed her from behind, the phone had already slipped from her hands. Well, that's not ominous in the slightest. Looks like Maho has been kidnapped. And meanwhile, on Rintaro's end of things, it is now the 20th. I asked Moeka Kiryu. As I took the papers she offered me silently. Looks like she's giving us actual reports instead of just text messages this time, which I guess is a step up in the world. She'd contacted Daru just 10 minutes ago and told him she was on her way to the lab. And she arrived right at the time she said she would. She is incredibly punctual. She must have been very close when she'd contacted him. Probably. What was she going to do if no one was here? Probably loiter for about 30 minutes before finally leaving. Evidently it was a report about her investigation thus far. The stack of papers was shaking a little in my hands. I still felt some unease when Moeka was in my presence. It It's hard to shake the memories of those other world lines, but I'll have to suppress it for the time being. Maybe it was just because of the anxiety meds I'd taken right after she said she was coming, but I was still doing a lot better than yesterday. We were having a full-blown panic attack.
どう？おじさん。
やっぱりそう簡単に見つかるもんじゃないな。
Indeed, if someone like Moeka Kiryu can't find Kagari Shina, then it's going to be pretty difficult. She must have been expecting something, at least a little. There was an obvious tone of disappointment in her voice.
カガリ、どこで何してるんだろう。
I believe that's what we're busy investigating, trying to find out. With no way to answer her, I just silently flipped through the pages of the report.
どうしたんオカリン？なんか有力な手がかりでもあったん？
There is something of note that could be.
いや、そういうわけじゃないんだが。
Could be a point of interest, but
見せて。
I handed the report over to Suzuha without complaint. I pointed to the part that interested me with my finger.
調査の中で一つ興味深い事実が浮かび上がった。この 1,2 ヶ月の間で椎名かがりという名の女性を探している人物が私たち以外にも存在するらしいということ。
Seems we're not the only ones looking for Kagari, but who else could possibly know about a girl, a 10-year-old girl from the year 2036?
どういうこと？
Probably it means exactly what it says in the
読んだままの
report.
通り。
Indeed. Which meant... My phone started ringing before I could finish the thought. Probably a good idea to give it a call. And lo and behold, it's the phone call from Maho. Normally I just ignore her and call her back later, but
悪い、ちょっといいか。
yeah. That's the thing about this phone call, because unknown to Rintaro, she's in the for some reason I had to answer. That's what it felt like.
もしもし。
もしもし岡部さん、私ヒヤジョです。
There's Hiajo in the alleyways of Akihabara. She sounded on the verge of panic, and my voice naturally rose to match hers.
どうした、ヒヤジョさん。
今、あなたのラボのすぐ近くまで。
Immediately afterward, I heard what sounded like a struggle, and then something hitting something else.
ヒヤジョ
That
さ
would
ん。
be,
ヒヤジョさん、どうした？
that would be Maho dropping the phone. And then there was only silence. Well, that's not good.
オカリン？何かあったん？
From the tone of her voice, it was obvious something bad had happened.
知り合いが誰かに襲われてる。
マジ？知り合いって誰？
I think things are starting to pick up again. Not for the better. But I didn't stay to answer his question. I grabbed the nearest thing that could serve as a weapon and ran out of the lab. Let's just hope it's not that pink cat paw that I saw just briefly leaning under the window. She said she was close to the lab. Well, as close as being in an alleyway can be. If she was coming from the station and had chosen a route that not many people would go down, she was probably... Good thing Rintaro knows where she might have been. The alley directly in front of the lab. So it is close by. I saw someone there. They were tall and slender, and I could see a tiny silhouette struggling behind them. That was... I knew it. The only girl I knew that size was Maho. Someone had grabbed her and she was desperately trying to escape. The person who was holding her turned in surprise at my voice.
女?
It was only then I realized it was a woman and that she wasn't Japanese. For some reason, Maho seems rather surprised that we're here. Suspicious indeed. Did she not understand me? No, but she should have been able to guess what I was getting at. I tried to strike a threatening pose with the weapon in my hand. Looks like we have the future gadget known as Siloom Saber. Unfortunately, we don't have a Darth Vader costume to go with it. I finally realized that I'd brought the, what I brought was the Siloom Saber. Unfortunately not the pink cat's paw. Still, it would serve as a bluff. It seems, things aren't all they seem. It wasn't. It wasn't like what? Well, you were being followed. The woman let go of Maho and smiled. She walked forward with her towards me with her arms open wide. You look suspiciously familiar. Before I could ask what was going on, she'd wrapped her hands around my back and given me a firm hug. I had no idea what the hell was going on, but yeah, being hugged by a complete stranger, at least in this instance.
それじゃあこの人はヒアジョーさんの知り合いなのか
ごめんなさい私が早とちりしたせいで
I'm Judy Reyes. Pleasure meeting you, Mr. Okabe.
Yeah, that was some terrific English there from the Japanese voice actress there, but this is indeed Dr. Judy Reyes, a colleague of Dr. Alexis Leskinen. Oh, by the way, I don't trust her either. Don't trust you in the slightest. The woman named Judy Reyes offered me her hand, her broad smile like the sun itself.
Nice to meet you.
It's a good thing Amadeus Kurusu isn't listening in on this.
日本語でいいわよ。
教授って日本語喋れたんですか
You took the words right out of my mouth there, Maho.
実はね。
seems that Dr. Reyes knows
知らなか
a
っ
little
た。
about Japanese
で
after
も
all.
どうして？
女も私くらいの年になるといろいろあるのよ。
A mischievous wink looked pretty good on her. No, I still don't trust her.
それじゃあ改めてジュディ・レイエスよ。よろしくね。
I returned her handshake.
岡部倫太郎です。
レイエス教授は今度日本で開かれる AI 関係の学会に出席するために来日したんですって。
Well, considering the fact that she works in the same institute as Liskanen, albeit in a completely different part of the complex, that's saying a
教
lot.
授っていうことはビクトル・コンドリア大学の。
サイクフィシオロジーを研究してるわ。
Indeed, she researches psychophysiology.
サイコフィ
精神生理学のことよ。つまり脳の活動によってもたらされる心の働きとか心の病気なんかについての研究をされているの。そういう意味では私たちの研究よりもずっと人の役に立つ研究をされていると言っていいかもしれないわね。
She too is also researching the, researching the development of
そんな
Amadeus.
ことないわ。あなたたちのアマデウスだってこれからの発展次第では十分に役に立つ技術になるわよ。
そう言っていただけると嬉しいです。
In short, Dr. Reyes happened to see Maho on the streets of Akihabara and had decided to surprise her by grabbing her from behind.
でもレイエス教授も人が悪いですよ。駅からつけてくるなんて。
Yeah, and by the way, did I mention the fact that I don't trust her? I think I did.
つける？マホ？私が？
I believe those were your footsteps.
後ろをついてきてましたよね、ずっと。
そんなことしてないわ。私はさっきそこのショップでたまたまマホを見つけたからちょっと驚かそうと思っただけよ。
If I hadn't decided to phone Amadeus Kurusu back at the shrine, I'm pretty sure that I would be buying this excuse right now, but I knew better. Maho had only just relaxed when Dr. Rey's answer drained her face of its color.
ヒアジョーさんつけられていたのか。
Well, that's why she phoned.
ええ、確かにそう感じたんだけど。
レイエス教授誰か怪しい人物を見かけたりは。
Well, I already know what her answer is going to be because she is the suspicious one. Dr. Reyes denied it with that unique shrug that foreigners always do. I looked back over at the alley, but of course I didn't see anyone.
じゃあ私の勘違いだったのかしら。
I don't think that you were.
きっとそうだわ。だって日本は世界一治安のいい国でしょ。
If only, if only. Was it? I think Rintaro and I would beg to differ there.
マホはこの後どうするの？
It's a very good question.
私は
Reyes seemed to sense something in Maho's silence.
なるほど、そういうこと。それじゃあ私は行くわね。リンタルもそのうちゆっくり話しましょう。バイ。
See you later. and she disappears down the alleyway. She gave me a meaningful wink as she left. The station was in the opposite direction. Should I have said something? I got a strange sense he was feeling me out, but it seemed like a waste of time to resist. Hmm.
というわけで、彼女がヒアジョーさんだ。ほら、前にセミナーで会ったって話したことがあっただろ。
So, now we're back in the Future Gadget Laboratory. It seems like we're introducing Maho to Daru properly, and we should also mention the Maho that we know Moeka
お騒がせ
Kiryu
し
as
てごめん
well.
なさい。
I ended up taking Maho back to the lab, where everyone was waiting for my return. Suzuha had actually gone out once to look for me, but evidently by that time I was already gone.
ま、でも何事もなくてよかった。
You dare say it, Daru. After I gave an introduction and an explanation, everyone let out a sigh of relief. Maho seemed to want to ask a lot of questions about the lab, but I had something I had to finish first.
すまん。どこまで話したんだったか。
I think we were talking about Kagari Shina.
他にもかがりたんを探してる人間がいるって話。
そう、それだ。
Yeah, we need to learn a little bit more about that.
それは本当なんですか、桐生さん。
本当。
I looked back down at Moeka's report, where she'd written all the details. I wouldn't think she'd lie in a situation like this. She'd even hired a private investigator to check it out. Which meant that it was probably true.
それが鈴葉という可能性はないんだろうか。
I probably doubt it.
それは私も考えた。でも探していたのは男の人。中には外国人。
So people outside of Japan are looking for Kagari Shina. Foreigners. Why would they be looking for Kagari? That is the crucial question of them all.
こっちでかがりと関わりがあるのは私だけだ。それなのに一体誰が。
I suspect that mystery, answering that question, will unravel this whole case. Could it be CERN? I doubt it. Maybe CERN had realized she was from the future and had gone looking for her. I doubt that Moeka would be cooperating with us if that were true. And if that was the case, then Moeka would have to know about it already. No, the rounders were all given their orders individually, so it makes sense if she didn't know what the others were up to.
椎名かがりはこっちに来てもう12年にもなる。その間知り合いができたとしてもおかしいことじゃないな。
One would assume that to be
む
the
しろ誰かの
case.
世話にならないと生きていけないっしょ。
Indeed, there's only so much a 10-year-old girl can do. That's certainly
つまり
true.
この報告からわかるのは
And yet somebody clearly knows about Kagari, somehow.
椎名かがりを知る何者かがここ最近何らかの理由から彼女を探しているということと。
And either we find out that reason or we find something that tells us a little bit, well, we don't really know anything about Kagari Shina before 2036, so
少なくとも最近まで椎名かがりは生きていたっていうことだ。
あ、そっか。
unless they could travel through time like Suzuha. If they were looking for her, then that meant that they'd known where she was until she disappeared. If people like that had been looking for her in the last few months, that meant she'd been alive until then. There was nothing else to be learned from Moeka's report.
どうする？
引き続き調査をお願いできますか？
If people were looking for Kagari in Akihabara, that meant she might still be here.
わかった。
So it looks like this investigation is far from closed. Moeka took her payment for the work she'd done so far and left the lab. Daru had paid the bill, obviously. It seemed that when his future daughter was at stake, he was willing to spend money. Maho had been looking around the lab with interest.
ああ、ちょっと知人をな。
It worried me that some of the people looking for Kagari Shina weren't Japanese, but we also got a message from someone on the Rhine. And it's Mayuri. Hey Okarin. Or Okarin, sorry. What time are you getting home today? You can respond with, something's going on, I won't be coming home tonight, or I shouldn't be that late. No, we'll respond with, I shouldn't be that late. I see. Will you eat dinner at home? Maybe, I guess. Okay, I'll have something ready. Huh? Why? Your mum asked me to. Yeah, I just remembered. Some guys from school wanted to go out tonight. That's a shame. I was going to make something good. Sorry. It's okay. I'll just make some for your dad then. You don't have to do that. I'll get him something on my way back. It's okay. Leave it to Mayushi. Sorry, Dad. And we just left Mayuri in a daze of confusion. Even outside of CERN, there are people all over the world who would jump at the chance to learn more about the time machine, like a certain secret American organization known as Strategic Focus, or Stratfor maybe. If they'd somehow learned that Kagari was from the future, that could mean she was caught up in some kind of trouble.
それじゃオカリン、そろそろ冷や上司のことを詳しく。
What is this quisk you speak of, Daru? I don't speak in tongues. A net slang shortening of kuwashiku, or give me details, used when you want more information about something. I think we've already learned as far as we can as far as this part of the investigation is concerned. He was talking about Maho, not Kagari. She was Dr. Leskinen's assistant, and both she and the professor had been very good to me. I was helping with their work a little. I told them all this before.
例えば冷や上司がこのラボのメンバーに加わってくれる的な超展開はありますか？
I don't think she's going to be lab member 010 anytime soon. Would that it be otherwise. Super development. In a game, anime, novel, or etc. refers to something that happens which completely ignores the plot and foreshadowing that occurred up until then. The super development instead takes the story in a completely new direction. Similar to the phrase Deus Ex Machina, these completely unexpected plot developments leave viewers bewildered and struggling to keep up. You and your otaku hobbies, Daru.
ないだろ。
じゃあせめて魔法タンと呼んでもいいですか？つうか呼ぶ。
I don't think she'd appreciate that. And by the way, she's standing right next to you.
タン
I remind you, Daru, she's 3 years older than you. She's 21.
あれ？名前間違ってた？
Only the honorific.
そうじゃなくて、その変な呼び方に引っかかったの。
でも魔法タンは魔法タンって感じじゃん。なおかりん。
俺に振るな。
Don't drag us into your mess.
とにかくその呼び方はやめて。
だが断る。
He never changes, does he?
それでヒアジョーさん、今日はどうしてラボに？俺、ここのことは君に話したかな？
Seems we have another private matter to deal with.
アマデウスに教えてもらったわ。
Of course she did.
今日は本来は話したいことがあったのだけれど、まあいいわ。
Of course, it's not like Maho can bring up the topic of Kurisu's laptop while everyone else is around.
噂のラボを見ることができたし、それになんだかあなたたちも大変みたいだから。
Yeah, that's true.
ひ
Although
ょ
I
っと
doubt
して
I would
あいつ怒ってたか？
I doubt that you could ever call the Future Gadget Lab mysterious.
ええ、とても怒ってたわ。連絡しても出ないって。
Yeah, looks like we're going to have to apologize to Amadeus Kurisu at some point. That's exactly what I expected.
え？なにそれ何の話？
別に浮いた話じゃないから、いちいち反応するなって。
岡部さん、やっぱり辛いの？だったらテスターやめてもらっても。
あ、いや、そういうわけじゃないんだ。ただ、
Just dealing with Amadeus Kurisu is slightly more trouble than it's worth. I hated how I was starting to feel dependent on her.
また気が向いた時にでも話してあげて。あの子も寂しがってるわ。
Must be tough being an artificial
わかっ
intelligence
た。
trapped in a digital world. The word lonely made my heart ache a little, but even so, I still didn't talk to Amadeus Kurisu that day. Maybe we will in the future. Several days had passed since Moeka had given her report. I checked last night and evidently there was nothing new to say. No surprise. She had her deadlines for her magazine, she said, and couldn't spend a lot of time on it. That's completely understandable. That other group of people who were searching for Kagari concerned me, but I couldn't ask Moeka to prioritize it over her own work. And Mayuri's back.
マユシーはとっても残念なのです。
もしかしてクリスマスパーティーの話か？
楓さんと吹雪ちゃん、用ができちゃったって。
Looks like Kaide and Fubuki aren't going to be able to come to the Christmas party.
フェリスちゃんはお仕事で、ナエちゃんも店長さんと過ごすことになってて。
So it looks like the Christmas party isn't going to happen.
ダル君は ユキさんと遊びに行くんだって。
結構なことじゃないか。
So it looks like the future gadget laboratory will be rather desolate on Christmas Eve. I'd heard that Suzuha had gone through a lot of work to set that up. She was always complaining that Daru wasn't making his intentions clear with Yuki. From Suzuha's perspective, her own existence was at stake. Even if it was already fated to happen, something might still interrupt it. More than that, she probably wanted to see her parents getting along in this peaceful world. If something came out of this, it would probably make her feel better.
マユリもクリスマスは家で過ごした方がいいんじゃないのか。この前おじさんがケーキを予約してたぞ。
Seems Mayushi was rather looking forward to the Christmas party at the lab.
お父さんに会ったの？
家の近くでばったりな。マユリをびっくりさせるために大きいのを予約するんだって張り切ってた。
Well, it's all well and good, but we've spoiled the surprise, unfortunately.
そっか。じゃあその方がいいね。
あ、言っとくが今のは聞かなかったことにしてくれ。せっかくのおじさんのサプライズだからな。
わかったよ。でもオカリンはどうするの？クリスマス。
That Mayushi is a very good question.
特に予定はないかな。うちはもともとそういうことする家でもないし。
Seems that the Okabeis never really celebrated Christmas. The guys at school were having a men's-only drinking party, but I hadn't been invited. Not that I would ever go to one of those, even if I were. I kept telling them that she wasn't. They insisted on thinking that Mayuri was with my girlfriend. Some of them had it out for me because of that.
確かサンタさんにプレゼントが欲しいって言ったら朝枕元にお野菜が置いてあったんだよね。
Yeah. Then I asked for a refund.
どう見ても前の日の売れ残りのな。クレームをつけたらうちはキリスト教じゃねえって逆ギレされた。
Honestly, I'm amazed I actually grew up alright. Well, if you call how I ended up alright.
クリスマスが終わったらコミマがあって、そしたらもうお正月。1年あっという間だね。
I believe those events are very close to each other, Mayuri. But you're right, the year does fly by. It hadn't flown by for me at all. I've gone through the same span of days again and again. For me, the year had been unimaginably long, at least in the alpha world line.
ねえオカリン、クリスマスパーティーはできないけどお正月パーティーをするのはどうかな。
Nah, I suppose we can substitute for New Year's, I guess.
みんなで初詣に行って、それからおせち料理を食べて、今年もよろしくって言って。
ああ、いいんじゃないか。
だよねだよね。じゃあ後でみんなに聞いてみるね。
Looks like we're having a New Year's party instead of a Christmas party this time around. Mayuri stood up to go.
さてと、マユシーはこれからお買い物に行ってきます。
Looks like Mayushi's going on a shopping
買い
attack.
物？
ふぶきちゃん用のコスでね、急に小物が必要になっちゃって。
And there's the winter Komima to take into
So-ka.
consideration.
気をつけて行ってこいよ。
fairly well, Mayushi.
そうだオカリン、ルカ君がね、オカリンに何か相談があるみたいなの。
Come to think of it, Ruka did want to mention something before, but we didn't really have time for him. That's right, Ruka had called me. After that, Moeka had come, and so much had happened that I'd forgotten all about it. Knowing Ruka, since I'd told him I'd call him back, he'd probably been waiting for me this whole time.
わかった。こっちから連絡を取ってみる。
お願いね。じゃあ行ってきまーす。
And Mayushi vanishes. Mayuri put on her coat, waved, and went out the door. Alright, I should get in touch with Rukiko. But that will be in the next episode, so when we return, we'll pick up where we left off in our conversation with Ruka concerning that which he wanted to talk to Rintaro about. Anyway, as always, adventurers, until next we meet.